Hit that. Whoa.
Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum,
Oh, whoa.
ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba, ba-da-da, ba, ba,
All right, Kermit.
I don't know how I feel.
ha.
Welcome to the SlapDuck podcast. I'm your host, Sully Iqbal, aka Ned Stark's third bastard son.
That was pretty
Ooh.
sick, mate. Fair play. I'm George Storm.
Damn, shit. George
Damn.
Means I'm a bastard of somewhere. I can't remember. So,
Stormlands, probably.
yeah. Yep, probably. Stormlands.
I'm Luca, the wild one.
No, he's not.
I'm from the ice place.
No, he's not.
You and Torborminum.
Yep, me and the ginger guy. Yeah,
Torminum. Torborminum?
he likes him a big lass.
Torborminum? He is.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, he's a big boy. Do you want to...
No. Oh yeah, sorry. It's boiling today, so we have got the window open. Hopefully, it doesn't affect the audio too much. But if I notice it does, I'll close it.
And if it does, you can not complain to us. Complain to all the places you can find us, such as radiohaver.com at 8 p.m. GMT on a Tuesday.
Oof.
You can also find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher Radio,
Oof.
Acast,
Oof.
and any other places that pull RSS feeds like Player FM, etc.
Basically, if there's a podcast place, we're on it.
Just not Google Play.
Fuck Google.
Fuck Google
we can't
Play.
make it.
Can't say that. I really want a Pixel 3a,
Damn.
and I want to get it for free from Google.
Do it.
Oh, Google.
At Google, we'll put the podcast on Google Play if you give George a phone.
Oh,
You have been warned.
Oh my god.
Warned. You have 3 hours.
You have 3 hours.
I don't think that's how you do hostage negotiations, Sally.
I think it is actually.
Is it?
Give us free shit, or we'll.
No.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Give us something so we can give you something. That's just a trade.
But that's what a hostage situation
it's
is.
a hostile
You're
trade,
giving them
A
back.
hostile trade.
You give them back them boys you stole for a helicopter.
or monies.
Or
So we're
Enchiladas.
withholding our content on Google Play until they give us their product.
think of all the plays they would get
this how it
on
works?
Google Play.
That's how it's always worked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what else has been held hostage? All of our hearts, because Game of Thrones has come to an end.
Yeah. So we are going to cover Game of Thrones. Basically, it's all finished. It's been what a week or two.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's
been a
been
week.
just over a week, or like a week and a day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been like a week and a bit. So if you haven't seen it,
Whoa!
stop listening now, and then kind of go watch it, and then just jump on our podcast feed, subscribe, and listen to it there because it will be there forever.
Yeah.
But you have been warned, and we are just gonna
Spoiler
Spoiler-
warning.
Do the spoiler alarm. Fuck me.
4,
Sorry.
3, 2.
Right.
So, do you not love when Captain Marvel turned up at the end?
It was
of-
sick,
Oh.
wasn't it?
And she fought
Fucking killed the dragons, yeah.
Daenerys. Oh, it's sick.
In like hand-to-hand combat.
And then she said, "There are other places more important than here that I need to be."
and
and
then
then-
she flew away.
Yeah, and then she goes to
Carth.
Narth
Yeah.
or Car-
And
Quarth or
one of the TH places.
yeah.
Whoa, that's racist.
All right.
One of those dirty TH places.
Okay, so
Goddamn
like if you haven't
third.
switched off by now, we are about to start. So sorry, not sorry.
I mean, you can be a bit sorry.
We warned them enough.
Yeah, they've definitely had enough more.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about this last season? Actually, how do we feel about this last season and the season as a whole?
The season
Like,
as a
I mean,
whole.
like the whole show.
the whole show.
Yeah.
I felt this last season was completely fine. I had little to no qualms with it. And the show as a whole, I don't think it is. A lot of people are going to say that, and might not like that I'm saying this. I don't think it's one of the best shows ever made
Ooh.
on
Okay.
TV.
Okay.
I think it's a really, really great show. I think it's just too soon to say that it's one of the greatest shows ever made.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I need some time to let it breathe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe because as an individual, I don't feel compelled to rewatch the whole show again.
Right.
Okay, yeah, fair.
So maybe for me, it's just not.
That's
The one
Yeah.
and done.
Like I don't know if I'm gonna go back and rewatch it at least anytime soon. I feel like it's been this kind of technically 9-year journey that you've been on with all these characters. And I mean, I get why some people are complaining about the last season. Sorry,
you bitch.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit whiny. I like it. It's kind of, a lot of people are annoyed that it moved so fast through this season. Things happen so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my counter to that is you've had quite literally 7 seasons building up to this season. There's your build up. This is the payoff kind of season. It's kind of like, it's like moaning that the last chapter of a book is too fast. Well, you've had the book leading up to this last chapter.
Okay.
So I liked it. I mean, don't think it was the best season on throughout like the series. And I'm kind of with Sully on this, that I think it's an amazing show, but there are a couple of shows out there that I personally feel are better.
Mm-hmm.
As like, but I think this show kind of changed the face of TV, or at least kind of
Definitely
impacted TV more than any other show, bar The Sopranos ever has.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So I think
That's fair.
good on them. I loved what they've done, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how it stands the test of time. And I realize that we can hear fucking people and kids in the background, so I'm gonna shut the window now.
Okay, I'll wait till you've done that before I say what I'm
Shut
gonna...
the
Bam.
window.
So, I've probably got a differing opinion from both of you.
No, I want to hear this.
Game of Thrones as a whole, I love. I love the show. I love everything about it. World building, I love all the characters and all that sort of stuff. I feel like this last season was rushed.
Okay.
Because I think mainly because the questions that I wanted answered weren't. Like they had a 7-year build up for the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Every time the White Walkers were mentioned, they had these interesting symbols. Everything was like, the first episode, they're there.
Yeah.
It's that threat is always there.
Yeah.
And when it got to that point with, the whole Night King episode, I was like, oh, we're finally going to learn some shit now. Why is the Night King doing the things that he wants to do? Why is he so malevolent and evil? And what does he want? And all this sort of stuff, but it just didn't get answered. And I was like, that's really like pissed me off.
Yeah.
A little bit. It did, because I was like, it was my favorite part of the show. Because I just love the whole, like, there should always be a Stark in Winterfell. There's all the stuff with the North. He who passes the sentence must swing the sword. Why did Bran get his mark on his arm? All this sort of stuff was just kind of not answered. Yeah. Or I feel like if they did have a bit more time,
they may have
they
answered
could have
them.
fleshed out those endings almost.
Even if it was just the 4 more episodes of the season.
Exactly.
Like they usually
just
did.
stretch it out.
Yeah, because so like information has come out kind of within the past few months of like Benioff and Wise were the people to make the cut to 6 episodes. HBO said, if you want more, you can have more. And they said, no, we want 6. We want to kind of wrap it up within 6.
Yeah.
And they were like definitely like opposition to that, but they were kind of adamant that no, they wanted to just kind of have this season be the shortest, kind of wrap up, get it all kind of done.
Which I think personally is the wrong call.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if like having one season to fit all these weird character, heel turns, kind of.
Yeah.
Like in season 8 is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in season 7, Jaime Lannister is like, he gets banished from King's Landing by Cersei.
Yeah.
And like the kind of taste left in everyone's mouth was that, maybe he's gonna fulfill the prophecy and go back and maybe murder Cersei. Like that's kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah.
Right.
And then in this, season, he kind of does a heel turn. He's like, no, I want to be with the woman I love, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I feel like because it was a short season, they had no time to flesh out that character change to go back.
There was no journey in the change. It
Almost
almost
kind of felt like he just changed.
He woke up one day and was like, go back.
He got with Brienne, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, I got to go back.
Yeah.
And then even when when Tyrion has Jaime in that, like, Jaime's been like, he's a prisoner to Daenerys.
Oh, in that like tent.
Yeah. And he's like, Tyrion's saying like, oh, what about the people and stuff? Because, if the bells go and she carries on. What's the point?
Mm.
And like, Jamie's like, yeah, I never really cared much for the people. And you're like, mate, your whole character has been because you care for the people.
Yeah.
That's why you murdered the Mad King. So he didn't murder the people. Even though, yeah, you got the brunt of it because you killed the king.
Yeah.
You still saved everyone because you loved everyone. Or you loved your sister. You know, it's just, I felt like it was a bit, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? So for, you know, D&D, I'm a bit like, why did you smush it down if you had the time to build on those heel turns? Like, I like that Daenerys went a bit mad.
So do I.
That's fucking cool.
See, and that's the kind of thing that I've seen lots of people dislike was her turn.
Yeah.
Her turn's been signposted for fucking seasons.
Yeah, it has.
And so
absolutely,
when she did make that turn, it was like, fuck, it's actually doing it. But I wasn't like, how dare they? It was like, well, this is kind of been building towards this. Which
I never thought like that's the wrong call.
Yeah.
I always, for me, I thought that's the right call. It's a bit quick though.
Right.
If you watch it play out.
Exactly. If somebody made a comment on Twitter or something, I can't remember if it was Twitter or something else, but they said, make it 10 seasons. I know that's like, oh shit. But no one had Game of Thrones fatigue. No one thought, oh, this is going on for too long.
No, I actually know lots of people that do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people got to like season 5 and they were like, can it just end? They like lots of people kind of, I think from our standpoint, being people that love the detail, love kind of the storytelling, all that kind of stuff, we want more of it. We want to kind of everything to be fleshed out. But from like
a layperson,
it's a shitty term to use, but yeah, kind of like a layperson or someone that isn't as invested in kind of the nerdy side of this shit and kind of just as a casual consumer, it's get to it. And when they kind of left the books and shit started moving faster, most people that I kind of lay people again to kind of lack of a better term preferred that.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think from like the diehard culture of kind of the different fandoms that like we come from and kind of our interests to want more and more, and kind of we rarely get fatigued by stuff. If you love
I get what you mean. It would be a bit esoteric to go from like, oh, let's make it 10 seasons, but like for us, let us have the 10 seasons.
And that's always like the problem when you're adapting a book. I don't care how long you have. When you're adapting a book, you're never getting everything in the book, in the movie, or in the series.
Absolutely.
Like there's lots of books that I love that have been made into like TV series or movies, and they've had to cut parts that I would have fucking sworn
definitely would have kept it.
I would have kept in if it was me. But then what else would you cut? Because if you got a book, especially Game of Thrones books that are like fucking 800-900 pages each, they're like
tomes.
They're tomes,
absolutely massive things.
And especially with the pacing of the season, like they're not rushing through dialogue. They're kind of everything has this kind of like weight to it.
You have episodes that are just people talking.
Yeah. That's strong, man.
I don't like. You could have done 15 seasons with it, and you wouldn't have got everything in. But is that the right call? That's what a show that I grew up watching and absolutely loved was Supernatural. It's now coming to a close on its like 16th season. I stopped watching when it was in like season 8. I fucking loved it, but it just became too much.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think it's the approach of the grass is always greener. Like, what if we had way more? What if you could like see everything? Yeah. It's like, great, but that's also another how many episodes, how many seasons of this could turn to shit in that time, and you wish it ended sooner.
That's a good point. I'm a great believer in if you end something at the height of its popularity, it becomes timeless.
Yeah, same.
So I feel like with Game of Thrones, it dipped a bit, and then they ended it. So it's kind of like, oh, it's still amazing, still an amazing show, but it's not a timeless show as much as we all want it to be. So overall, I really liked it. I liked how the characters, except for Jaime Lannister, I feel like they did him a disservice.
They did him in.
But I like the whole Bran thing. I like the John thing.
Bran the wheelie legs no feely.
Exactly.
But
he can't have children. You're like, fucking hell, mate.
It's like, good.
Calm down.
Look at the last fucking person that had kids. They were mental.
How do we know he can't have children?
That's true.
Have you seen his wiener?
I mean, I did.
Oh, okay.
Might be hung like a horse. You never know.
But yeah, I feel it was very good. Game of Thrones is very good. I like that the Starks essentially won.
Yeah,
They won.
Yeah, in a very strange, roundabout way, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They they had the shittest time in the first season.
Yeah.
Only for it to come full circle and then win.
So not even the first season, like
First 4.
the ginger girl, what's her name? Sansa. I'm terrible with the names.
Oh yeah.
Sophie Turner.
Shit,
She
yeah.
had one of the worst kind of journeys through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
So fair play.
came out stronger.
I like that. Although there's just some things, man. Just some things that I wish they were fleshed out a bit more.
With the Night King thing,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that we didn't get anything about him in this show because they're making an entire show about him?
Possibly.
So they'd be like, okay, we could tell everyone, oh, this is why he became the Night King, etc. This was his goal. Or they wait 2 years and then they all get their HBO subscriptions back and then watch a whole show about him becoming the Night King.
I would honestly
motivation.
hate if they did that.
I think that's what it was.
I think
they are planning. Well, they were planning a prequel.
I think they have.
series. So apparently, it's now been put on hold due to the backlash.
Oh,
from
really?
this. I mean, I'm sure they're just public saying that, and
They've
like, the
already
rise
started production on one, though.
I imagine it's still going.
I
They
just-
did a bunch of pilots, didn't they? And then they commissioned a series of one.
Yeah.
And I think that's like before. It's like 200 years beforehand. It's
Yeah.
before
Before the
kinda like-
game.
I mean, I kind of like prequels to stuff, but the problem with prequels for me is you either have to be really far before everything so that you don't know what happens to these characters, or there's no stakes. Like if it's about Ned Stark, you know how he ends.
Yeah.
So no matter whenever he's in some sort of danger or crisis, you know, well, he gets out of this because he gets fucked up in the first series.
There's I know what you mean. Plot armor becomes
Mm-hmm.
impenetrable, depending on the character.
So that was, I mean, weird reference to this, but that was kind of the one issue with Halo Reach, the game. You knew how they ended because that was spoken about in the other Halo games about how they did this. Fucking loved it, but if that story wasn't already known, it would have been way too more impactful.
Yeah.
Fantastic final level.
Yeah, Halo Reach is great.
I mean, I love Halo Reach. It's probably one of my favorite Halo games.
Yeah,
Great.
I love Game of Thrones. There's so many things I'd love to gush about in Game of Thrones.
I think,
Go for it.
but with prequels, my feeling about Game of Thrones is the same as George's feeling about Marvel movies,
You're done.
where I'm just done.
I think I'm done as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned before that you're done sort of after Endgame.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
I think I'm done after this, unless there's something like amazing.
Right.
If they start to I don't know. I think everybody's individual, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if they start to speak to my individuality, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking get Beta Ray Bill and like these are Thor people, like everybody who's worthy and stuff, or like Old Man Thor, or
That kid surfer you wanted in that other episode.
Kid Surfer.
That kid, the
You mean Johnny Capybara?
Johnny Capybara.
Do you mean the Silver Surfer?
No,
Silver Surfer's cool.
George made a joke in one of our Avengers podcasts about some kid, like some cartoon you wanted that they wanted to make into a Marvel movie.
Rings up. I think.
I can't remember that.
Go back and listen to our last episode
Yeah, I
and
should
then
do that.
comment in this one.
I
and let
really
us
should
know.
do that. I can't remember that at all.
I really can't either.
Yeah.
I edit these fucking things.
Innit? No, you're absolutely right. But if they start speaking to my, the things that I want to see personally, then I'll probably like, oh yeah, maybe we can give that a go.
Yeah.
Like I want to see female Thor.
Sure.
I think that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But
No,
as far as this Avengers timeline has come,
Yeah.
I'm like, that was good. I mean, there was no end credit scene after Endgame,
No.
so I was
No.
like, that's
it's
done then.
nice,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
little
actually,
Sick.
So just
Like
a
Game of
little heads
Thrones
up, we're
doesn't
going to
have
speak about Endgame once we're done with Game of Thrones, but there is
Oh,
something
shit.
more to say on that
there's a lot
end
more.
credit scene. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more to say about Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
still like. So
I'm down for I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like
but-
Game of Thrones fatigue.
Mm.
I feel like that's probably what you've got now.
Yeah.
It's like
maybe.
you're done with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's because I've got a new boy that's going to start
Ooh.
soon. That's going to be my new Game of Thrones,
Ooh.
and you're going to love it too.
Ooh. What is it?
Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
Oh.
mean, I'm actually going to give that a go.
Yes, please.
Because I'm hoping, I know. They're planning 5 seasons of it, so they're taking
For
more
now.
from like other sections of the Lord of the Rings thing to
Some-
Hey, I
expand.
think they're
Silmarillion.
following the Silmarillion,
Yes.
which is sick.
Okay, I mean, I don't really know anything
It's
about
the hardest
it,
book in the world to read. Never read it.
Yeah, never read it.
but from what I've heard, it's like hard to read, but it's great for like kind of influence and source
Yeah.
material to kind of reference from.
I think that's what it was written for.
Yeah. I would definitely give it a go. It might be the thing that gets me into Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Peter Jackson kind of approach wasn't
Peter
for me.
Jackson.
Oh mate, Lord of the Rings is quality.
Yeah, we don't need to
I know,
cover
yeah.
this
I'm
again.
sorry.
Game of the Rings.
Game of the Rings.
I'm down for a Game of Thrones prequel. I would like to know more about the Night King.
Yeah.
I'm down for that, as long as D&D don't do it.
D&D.
Yeah, David and Daniel. Wait, DB Weiss and something.
Oh, is it?
the writers?
I
D-
just
D&D.
heard them spoken about as like Benioff and Wise.
Oh yeah, David Benioff and something Weiss.
Oh, okay.
Benioff and Weiss
Yeah,
sounds like an
D&D.
ice cream.
Yeah.
But like,
Hmm.
I think they're brilliant writers
Yeah.
when it comes to adapting.
Right, and you think once it left the books and they had to kind of create from
Yeah.
Yeah,
themselves.
I don't know. I can't say anything on them.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know them, and they're doing a job that's like the hardest job. When everyone's looking at you to
Yeah.
make something really good,
Yeah.
that's hard as shit.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help that there was a 1.5 year gap between season 7 and 8
Yes.
Yeah,
because the hype built up way more than it needed to.
yeah.
Like last year it was kind of like, we should be watching Game of Thrones now, but we've got to wait that much longer. So everyone's hype built that much more.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't try and shoot back to back.
It was something to do with where they filmed a bunch of the snowy scenes. Snow didn't fall.
Oh, really?
So they had to wait for snow to fall, which
That's-
was like months later.
That's peak.
So like, for them, it was
No.
that because the authenticity. of it
No,
and all
that's
that shit.
the cover story.
Yeah,
What-
there could have been
no.
way more to it. but
No,
that's
no.
like,
What really happened was,
the White Walkers fucked them up.
Kit Harington needed to film Pompeii 2, right?
Did any of you
So,
watch
yeah.
Pompeii 1?
I
It is
I
the
had
worst.
I had this
fucking
conversation.
movie.
I had this conversation yesterday about where everyone's gonna go from this point, like actors wise.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, Sophie Turner probably is gonna end up being. She might get some good roles.
She might do.
My Sunday will get good roles.
My Sunday. Christ.
Natalie Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Um,
Fast and Furious roles.
yeah, exactly. Maisie Williams is gonna do indie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will for a bit.
Kit Harington, no fucking clue, because every movie he's made has been trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in like the Spooks movie, which didn't go anywhere. Pompeii was terrible. It wasn't his fault. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Partly his fault. It was
he
terrible.
he
But
did a
the CG
like a,
was so bad.
like a romance World War One movie,
Did he?
which is a bit naff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for him, he needs to pick better roles.
That I was
Yeah.
just about to say that. Someone's going to come along for a role. A role is going to come along for Kit Harington.
Yeah,
That is going to be so sick.
yeah.
It's like Bryan Cranston had that role,
Yeah.
which was Walter White, and it was amazing.
But the problem is, from then, he's done a couple of good movies, but there's nothing that's been to that caliber
Yeah.
since.
Do you know what Kit?
Fucking
do
Power
you know
Rangers,
what Kit
come on.
Harington has to say to the roles?
You
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
She's my queen.
Oh, it's
I
not
don't
even
want
that.
it.
You have to
Bend the knee.
you have to whisper like this.
I don't want
This
it.
is. He always sounds like he's trying to
And
push out
after
shit.
after he watches the movies he's made, he says, "Did I do the right thing?
Did I do the right thing?
Did I?
It doesn't feel."
I know where to put it, Sam. Honestly, that was my favorite quote from the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it. It's like, I know where to put it, Sam. yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
So many-
dog.
You damn dirty
God,
ghost.
Oh, poor direwolf.
Yeah.
But no, I think just kind of wrapping up the Game of Thrones speak. It's
Do we? I mean,
is there more that you want to talk about?
I don't know. No,
Have you covered your opinions?
I want to.
I like that Bran's king.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice ending
Really know
for Bran.
I think for most characters, I was happy with the way that their kind of story ended. It was nice having kind of the Tyrion end of you're going to serve out as the king. I don't want it. Well, that's your service.
I don't
It's
want
like,
it.
that was a nice kind of way of ending it. It was fucking funny. Like what do they call it in the world?
Like the council, I
the
guess.
council.
Like Bronn and that.
Yeah, I quite liked the fucking weird disjointed council that they had of all like
Mm.
scoundrels and kind of like reformed people were
Yeah.
just now the ones in charge of the
Yeah.
kingdom.
Mm.
But that was lovely. Like, was it Bron? He's the
Bron,
sellsword.
Master of Coin.
Yeah.
Master of fucking coin. Yeah, the guy who's just like
How does bank work?
kill for money. He's like, well, I got the money now.
What so I
Yeah.
don't pay my loans back?
Yeah,
Honestly,
he goes and
man.
kills you. That's
So good.
I
like that.
were you guys happy with John's ending?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was. So, like-
that's another one that was a bit like, oh, he's the rightful heir to the throne.
Yeah.
Which is that's a big deal,
Yeah.
and it's sworn to secrecy by Ned Stark for years and years and years, only for it to come out and have no impact on the
That's
ending.
Exactly what my brother said.
Really?
Yeah. It
He
had
said
no impact
The
whatsoever.
impact of him being Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name, had zero. Well, my brother says it has zero impact. I was like,
It hasn't. No, but it
served
has an impact.
Daenerys.
It has
Yeah.
actually a rather big impact.
Yeah.
I think him finding out that's who he was made him kind of no longer want to be with
Danny.
Danny.
Oh
Danny.
no, I get that.
And
I
then,
get all
yeah,
that.
and
yeah.
that's the kind of that was the
Catalyst
last
for
straw
Danny.
that made her fucking
yeah.
lose it. So it didn't have a kind of a world kind of
world
wide
impact,
but it had an
uh,
impact to the storyline of
Yeah.
this is the final straw that causes her to become the Mad Queen.
And
I can get behind
Yeah.
that, but I feel like it would have had more of an impact on the rest of the world, because
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is not just it's not just Daenerys and Jon and the North.
yeah,
It's
everything.
Dawn, it's Pike,
Yeah.
it's all these places. Like in the first season, you start to learn about all these
Yeah.
things. And it's like, oh shit, this world is so interlaced with like treachery and deceit and all this sort of stuff. And then you kind of lose all that towards the end.
I think, and I also feel like that was something that suffered when they moved away from the books.
Yeah,
Where
I can see that.
Dave and the other one,
Dave and Buster.
yeah, they were
Dave
like,
and DB.
yeah,
I
Dave
don't
and
know.
DB, they were kind of like, we don't know what George is going to do with these characters, so Sand Snakes get fucked.
Yeah,
Mm.
innit? Like, get fucked.
Well, because
Shit.
I know George R. R. Martin kind of discussed with them where he's taken the entire series, because he has kind of a map of
Yeah.
where he's going.
Yeah.
He just can't be asked to write them.
But I
'Cause-
also feel
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, he hasn't released a single book since it started.
He's released lots of books.
usually
But
sorts
not Game of
spin-offs,
Thrones.
Not Game of Thrones.
not
books.
mainline.
Yeah, which is kind of, I know the fans are just kind of like, what are you doing? Just stop releasing supplemental shit and get the
I
books
think
out.
he's that kind of guy where he's like, I'm not going to write it unless I feel like it.
I think he's probably written himself into a bit of a corner, because that was the big problem. It was like there was in the middle kind of season, wasn't it, where it was trying to get everyone to a place that they
Yeah.
could kind of start bringing it together, but he had kind of scattered them so much that you had to send a season getting them together. So he
Yeah.
had to kind of map.
I
got to do all this fucking shit now before I can actually
I
get
also
moving with the story.
feel like the show is the books. I've not read them. I read the first one, but I have a feeling the books are going to end in a similar fashion to the show, but the process of getting to that is going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be far deeper, far more.
Yeah.
You might get all the actual kind of who everyone was, like who the Night King was, and all that kind of stuff. You're probably going to get
Well-
more of that from the books than you will.
There's a weird difference in the books though, because there's a character called the Night's King
Okay.
Yeah,
and the Night King. Like that tiny little discrepancy is so
and
annoying.
like Varys is more of a bad guy in the books.
And I mean, from some friends who've read the books have moaned like, "Oh, my favorite character from the book isn't even in the series." I'm like,
they did miss out on a great character they could have used, and it would have been one of those monumental like oh shit moments.
yeah,
Like when John died,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
got brought back, everyone was like, "Fuck!" It could have been.
like one of those kind of things.
Yeah, there's a character in the book called Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah,
Okay.
And basically she's found in a river near the Frey, what are they called? The twins?
the twin bridges. Yeah,
The twin
twins,
bridges. Yeah, the twins. She's found in that river. And it's like, oh shit, she looks like a noblewoman. Da, da, da. And you basically find out that it's Catelyn Stark. And she gets like rezzed by the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Oh.
Like, you know how Beric does.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, this is fucking cool. And then she becomes like the leader of the Brotherhood like Beric does, but it's fucking Catelyn Stark.
Okay.
And her and Brienne have like, oh, you've got Jaime Lannister's sword, you betrayed me, all this kind of interesting shit. It's like, it's a cool path to go, like,
Yeah.
but obviously you can't do that in the show.
Yeah.
There's things you need to pick and choose for.
So I guess that's the difference between like a book and a show. A book, you can hide identity. You can tell a story of someone without seeing them.
Yes.
And then it can reveal later on. Where with a show, unless you just want to show their fucking feet, there's no way of doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, in Naruto, Rock Lee does say you can see your enemy's movements and their intention just from their feet.
That's true.
So, I mean,
Rock Lee's the best taijutsu guy there is.
Yeah. Well, not Rock Lee, Guy Sensei, but
fuck it. Let's go full Quentin Tarantino and make an entire episode of just feet.
he would do that. He's into it.
Oh, he loves himself some feet, doesn't he?
Weird, man.
But I think my favorite thing to come out of this season, before we get into Avengers talk, is we watched The Bells with my dad. Like, we watched it for a second time. He's never watched Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Except for when it's on TV. And we're like, change it, in case they start banging it out.
Right.
Because he's older. He's like, oh, this shouldn't be on TV.
Fair.
So we were watching The Bells with him. And when Dana starts burning everyone, he's just sat there like, but they're ringing the bells.
Yeah.
But they're ringing the bells. Like, Dad, this is her thing now.
I mean, and I thought that was really quite powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, she's really gone.
Yeah. And you can see like the rage in her eyes and you're like, oh.
Uh-oh.
I will say, before we move on to Avengers stuff, visually, this is the best season ever.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Holy shit.
There's a shot in the last episode where she like is up those stairs and she lands on the dragon and the wings just open behind her.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fucking powerful.
Was
that was an
sick,
amazing image.
It was sick, man.
Oh, and also before we go into the Avengers thing, quickly, because I know you mentioned it before we started, the petition that people created.
Oh,
yeah,
so
I want to touch on this quickly.
I think that's dumb. Look, I'm a wrestling fan through and through. I watch WWE no matter how many times Vince McMahon takes his massive fucking voided wiener and fucks us with his stupid ideas.
I think it'd be a tiny winner at this point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, true. All the roids he's taken. And I power through it, and I complain and stuff, but I never would be like, you are incompetent and stop and redo this. Like, because I have the thing to know that, speaking from a wrestling point of view, Vince McMahon, being a 70-year-old man, has created something that will never be rivaled ever again. And I think it's similar with Game of Thrones, where like, okay, you don't like the last season, and you're allowed to not like it completely, but don't be like, oh, HBO remake the show with competent writers.
Yeah, it's
like that whole competent writers thing.
It's it's a big fuck you, man.
Yeah,
it's not cool.
It's like you've had this experience of this show, and you obviously love this show, and it's. There was a tweet that some article kind of posted, and it was like perfectly encapsulated it, and it was like 1 million people who don't create something are moaning about creators creating something.
Exactly,
and it's like until you have kind of gone through that process and you see the difficulties and the challenges that comes with it, you're never going to understand how this final product comes. It's not just like we wrote it, it was made easy. Everything was smooth. Like when people are moaning about like, oh, the CG was slightly dodgy in that shot, you're like, there's a limitation to budget.
I am guilty of that. I did rail into the dragons in the first episode.
I think it's fine. I think you can be critical about something you love. Like I think the people who love things are the most critical of it.
Yes.
Because they love it so much.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that with this, but this is the same sort of thing that happens with like, it happens in the video game sphere, and it's now happening in this sphere of like the Mass Effect 3 thing of like, I didn't like that ending, make a new one.
They did, didn't they?
And then they did, which I was fully fucking against. Why?
But I thought wasn't it because for Mass Effect 3, the whole point was your decisions affect the ending.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter what you did, we all had the same ending.
But it's the same, mostly the same ending. But my argument to that is the entire game is the ending. Like your decisions from 1 and 2 affect the entirety of 3, not just the ending. So
I see,
certain characters
Okay.
turn up, certain characters will die, certain characters you won't even have in the game. And that's kind of, for me, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Not,
Okay.
not just the, like, don't let the last few minutes of something spoil an entire series, and don't get angry at the creators who have made this entire thing and focus on the one part that you don't like.
Yeah.
Look, like, take a step back and look at it as a whole. Like, 1 million people signed this petition for the Game of Thrones redo the season. Firstly, that's never fucking happening.
No.
Yeah.
For me just saying that, it might happen now, just for
I
shit luck. But I don't think
very,
that's
very
never
strongly
happening.
doubt
That would be so fucking unlikely.
It would cost way too much money to do.
Yeah.
It would also be unnecessary. You have an ending. You don't like the ending, fine.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Get obsessed over
Write-
something else.
Write fan fiction.
Write
if you
fan
damn.
fiction. Write a better
Make
ending.
Drogon and John bang.
Yeah.
Make a Dragonborn. Oh my!
This is a prequel series to
God.
Skyrim.
Oh fuck!
That's what Arya's
Game
sailing
of
off
Scrolls.
Shit.
to. Arya's just gonna like pop up on the Elder Scrolls and be like, "What up, motherfuckers?
That'd be sick, actually.
It's me, Maisie Williams.
How you doing?
Nice to meet
Nice to meet you, Patrick Stewart." Because he's every fucking character in that.
you. He was the big dragon boy, wasn't he?
Patrick Stewart is like every character in Oblivion.
Patrick Stewart is the best thing ever.
I love Patrick Stewart.
He's my boy.
Not when he's every character.
Patrick Stewart x Ian McKellen. It's
Oh.
the best thing ever.
I ship them both.
They're my boys.
They're great.
They're great. All right, so that's the end of our Game of Thrones speak. Now, just as big spoiler one, because George has finally seen it, and we
Yeah.
can finally talk about it without ruining it for him.
Sorry.
We're going to speak about Avengers Endgame. It's been long enough now, and Marvel and the Rousseau brothers have said, like, spoiler bans lifted, so we're going to speak about it here.
Let's make this snappy.
Whee!
Uh,
So if you've yet to see it, which from the box office numbers, I don't know anyone who hasn't fucking
They're
seen it.
so close to taking over Avatar.
They're so close to being like the number 1 movie of all
I
time.
fucking hate Avatar. They're so close to overtaking it.
Hey, I wanted to do it just kind of,
Fuck Avatar.
yeah, just. Also, it's fucking great. But yeah, we're going to talk about it now. So if you haven't seen it, or I guess are waiting for home release for some fucking reason, turn off now and
Go and watch it.
Go and watch it, and like with the Game of Thrones,
If only to fuck
discussion-
Avatar.
Yeah, and like with the Game of Thrones discussion, it will be forever kind of exist on our podcast feed. So pick it up there at a later date if you need to
Yeah.
kind of still watch it and are interested
True.
into our opinions on this.
yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm giving you. We're about to finish it off in 3, 2, 1. Iron Man dies. If you haven't seen it, it's there.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he gets fucking wrecked.
Oh, I
He
thought-
gets killed by Mario.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens is, like, at the very end,
Yeah.
Mario comes out. It's like, oh shit, Mario, what are you doing? And he runs up and goes, ha ha, and jumps on Robert Downey Jr.'s head, and it just breaks his fucking neck.
I really
I
like.
thought that's how he killed Thanos, just crush his head into
No,
him.
Thanos isn't even in this one.
Ah,
I really
He
like.
dies in the first like 5 minutes of the
he
film.
does, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked when Pikachu turned up,
it was sick.
and
wasn't it?
when
I don't know why we're doing this. I've already actually spoiled the movie if they haven't listened to it, so
Oh,
let's
what?
just get straight into
we
it.
are, we are talking about.
we are talking about Pikachu turns up, and then he
Fuck off.
zaps what's his name, Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, no, he does. No, that was
Fucking
sick.
Whiplash.
That was actually so sick as well. That was my favorite part
All
when
right.
Mickey Rourke showed up. It's fucking sick. Brie
All right.
Larson and him like had that really emotional moment.
Oh, fuck me.
What
All
is my
right.
The
Also-
best part of that film, hands down, is Captain America being worthy.
That was the best fucking
Where does
thing.
my
I
nose?
lost my shit. So I went to see this like opening weekend at an IMAX full of nerds, and I lost
Fucking
my
nerd.
shit when
Fucking
he picked it up.
nerd.
I legit went, "Whoa!"
Damn.
Oh,
in the middle of a
really?
cinema.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, really.
That's a bit
Oh.
I wasn't the only one as well. The entire
Ugh.
cinema erupted. It was fucking epic.
That's cool.
Especially when he's
Oh.
like,
Epic.
epic.
Like
I mean,
the owners of Fortnite, which
Which is actually in the
Game
game.
of Thrones.
Yeah, at the moment I saw
Game
that, I thought of you.
Endgame.
So like, it walks into the thing, and you've got like Korg sitting there playing Fortnite. I just thought, oh, Sully's gonna love this.
it was so dumb.
But all right, one of the biggest things in this entire movie is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever thought they'd never commit to film. You have the biggest movie on Earth. Hemsworth is in a fat suit the entire time.
yeah.
Who thought of that, and who signed off on that when, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I feel bad for Chris, bro.
Dude,
I feel bad for him.
I mean, it was actually fantastic.
It
seeing
was good.
I think he
It
would
was
have had a good
really-
laugh though.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
he must have loved it.
yeah.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
was like, "You mean I don't need to get
He
ripped?"
still had his moment,
Yeah,
which
and
was
like,
really good.
I loved when he kind of grabbed Stormbreaker at the end,
Yeah.
and kind of became almost Odin,
Yeah, like
the beard and
the
stuff,
beard
and
and
it was
the
kind of like
lightning.
that is like,
quality, man.
all right, he is still a really nice kind of little write up I saw about that is you see a character going through depression, going through like the worst kind of time in his life. He's lost everything.
Mm.
He has kind of nothing that he feels he's worthy of, but he's still worthy.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
just because you're in the darkest place doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're gone.
yeah,
I was like, it was a really nice kind of sentiment that I read, and I was like, it's fucking A.
so good.
But I mean, all right, movie as a whole, what do you guys think?
Oh, easily the best. One of the best
Amazing.
Marvel films I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it made me so fucking happy and
I-
sad and everything.
I was grinning ear to ear the entire fucking movie.
Oh, even when Iron Man died at the end.
Yeah.
You were fucking happy about
I
that.
was like,
You bitch.
I was crying.
Hey, you bitch.
Damn, son. No, for the most part, I was like just grinning. It was fucking amazing.
It was fucking good.
They pulled something off that I didn't think they'd pull off. And the opening little section of the movie, once they lobbed off Thanos' head, I was like, where the
Oh,
fuck
wait,
is
what?
this movie
What's
going?
happening?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. I was like, what?
Because I was like,
What do you mean?
it was very well made
What?
trailers, and wasn't actually too much in the trailers that wasn't in the movie, which I liked.
Yeah, they're really good at that shit.
yeah.
Yes.
They're really fucking good at that
Yeah.
shit.
But the trailer that they had was like, there's the one shot that's in the movie of like the main three walking kind of in slow motion. Thanos is sitting there kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
among the debris. And that was like that hero shot of that's fucking badass. That's what the movie's building up to.
Yeah.
So when you see your man's head getting lobbed off at the start, I was
wait,
like,
what?
what is this movie?
Mm.
And the fact that this movie was basically Ant-Man 3 of a massive heist movie. I loved it. It
Yeah.
was,
And they handled the time travel so well.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I absolutely hate time travel, but they handled it well.
They handled it as well as you need to in a movie like that,
Yeah.
where they kind of start discussing it and went, who gives a fuck? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And then you had a couple of people kind of say, like when you had Tilda Swinton's character kind of
Yeah.
show like, this is what happens to the timeline. You have to return them, otherwise
Yeah.
shit gets fucked.
Yeah.
That's enough. Cool. That's all you need to know.
And even when Hulk was like, "Yeah, we just can't go back in time and kill Thanos. It's not going to affect anything."
Mm.
That as soon as they said them, okay, fine, I'm on board with this.
Because that's what I thought the cop out was going to be. Let's go back, kill him as a kid. We're done.
Yeah.
I was like, your timeline's still fucked.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Which was like fair enough. And yeah, there were enough kind of turns and twists in the movie that I did not
Yeah.
see coming that I absolutely loved. Like Captain America's ending.
Oh, I love
That
that.
was
I
cute.
absolutely
was
loved
really
that. He
nice.
finally got that dance and grew old with Peggy because
And
that's what he wanted.
And I'm so happy it was
Fucking
so
yeah.
like comic booky
Yeah.
for me because like I'm so because I kind of am I was up to date with the comics and
Okay.
there was 2 lines of Captain America. There was Falcon Captain America, which we have now, and then there was Old Man Cap,
Yeah.
which is who has his own sort of old Avengers. And when Deadpool comes in, he ends up funding the Avengers because Tony's gone. And it's sick.
Fuck, that'd be
So
that'd
funny.
be ridiculous, but that'd be
That would be cool.
um
Someone like because I read this morning actually on Twitter they were
Mm.
thinking of trying to incorporate Deadpool into the MCU with
It
Ryan Reynolds.
It
And
would
stuff.
make sense.
I
It would.
love that.
And they
so
were saying
much.
like maybe they could have his own standalone film again, like
Yeah.
like reboot it for them,
Yeah.
or they could do their like Disney Plus thing. But the comment that made me laugh was just introduce him as Noob Master 69. I was like,
oh my god, yes.
yeah, all right, yeah, I'm down for that. That's
So-
fair.
Because at the end of Deadpool 2, he's got that time travel device.
Yeah.
So
What?
I-
Wait, what? I haven't seen Deadpool 2.
Oh, haven't you?
Really?
did you not? I should have told me. Sorry.
No, I don't give a fuck. It's fine.
Yeah. So he's got like that kind of what's your man's cable's
Cable.
time travel device.
What you mean Thanos's
Yeah.
Thanos's
Yeah,
Thanos's
Thanos's-
cable?
yeah.
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 Obviously.
Wait, is Cable still alive at the end of Deadpool 2?
I mean, do you want to watch it?
I mean, yeah, but I don't mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, then Josh Brolin's absolutely cool to play him still.
So what I would love is for Deadpool, a Deadpool movie for some reason he has to just go through time, and he's just kind of like, all of these movies are just in the background of him doing
That
some
would be
shit.
really fun.
Like, I would love for like everyone erupting from all the portals, that fucking hero moment, and he's just off in the background, kind of like looking for like a sandwich and then fucks off. That's the kind of shit I want from a Deadpool movie, because that's kind of the Deadpool comics of him doing shit in the background while everyone else is actually doing important stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I would love.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. But that, going back to that moment in the movie when kind of Cap stands up, it's like, do this all day, but he's beaten to shit, and you just hear crackly Falcon on your left.
And you're like,
I was like, what? And then everyone, like, I thought there would be like a few people erupting from the thing. I didn't think everything would be coming. You got the fucking magician army coming in, and it was like,
you got a bunch of Pegasi.
Right?
Pega people.
Sick, innit?
Fucking Valkyrie riding around on a fucking Pegasus is like.
I think I'm glad she got like I feel like every character had their moment in that fight, and her moment was fucking so sick.
Epic.
I absolutely loved that shot with all the female superheroes just being fucking badasses.
Yeah,
like,
that was a great little moment.
That's lit as shit.
And
they're protecting that little boy Pete.
Yeah, but
don't touch my son.
Well, that was a part that just. I mean, I'm assuming anyone invested in these movies had the same reaction when Peter came through and just started speaking to Tony. It's like, oh my God, Mr. Stark, we've been doing this. Yeah. And you could just see in his face,
like, oh, thank fuck.
Fucking lost it.
It was so good.
That bit, and then when Tony dies at the end and Peter's kind of like,
he's crying,
don't leave me, that kind of stuff. He's like,
don't go down.
You fucking left me.
You bitch.
You bitch.
But that kind of relationship that they've built up between the two characters was, I mean, you kind of mentioned earlier that there's not a end credit scene to thing. Yeah. There is now.
Really?
Yes. So have you seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
So there's a little scene in that is now classed as the end credits, and they've injected into it. So if you go and see it,
oh really?
Yeah, the end credits
I'm not
is.
A fan of that.
So I don't think they wanted to spoil it, but it's essentially, I think Nick Fury and Mysterio and him talking about the idea that there's now a multiverse. Or
yes.
No, not a fan of that.
I mean, I'm very much looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I would watch Spider-Man if it was like, I'll give you £1 million to not watch Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I would watch it.
I wouldn't watch Spider-Man.
I don't know.
I'd take the fresh mill.
True. Then I can make my own Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It's a cheap Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
I can make a low-budget Spider-Man.
That'd be sick.
That's still a pretty premium budget. If someone gave you £1 million to make a film, you're pretty,
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
We could make
for a short film, that's a great budget.
Nah, man, we could do Spider-Man on the streets. 90 minutes. Spider-Man fight drug dealers.
Done, easy.
We'd get like a shit villain. What's the guy with the
Shocker?
Oh, even worse. Even worse. The
Hammerhead.
No,
just
the barbarian guy.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Odin.
No, it begins with a K.
Medusa.
Knight.
He has he's
Saitama.
He's an animal.
Fucking hell, George.
Goku.
Ichigo.
Craven the Hunter.
Orochimaru.
Oh my God, can we not?
Orochimaru, yeah.
It's Craven the Hunter.
I want a Craven the Hunter like thing in it. That'd be really cool. He's a great villain.
But yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the bit on that.
I don't give a fuck either way.
I liked how it was.
With just just the ringing of him making the suit from the first Iron Man movie. That was cool. That's what those dings were. Just that.
Oh.
Yeah. It was just kind of like a full circle kind of thing.
I really liked Pepper in that film.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know her character in the comic multiverse, but is she like this super Iron Woman, man?
It's a relatively new thing I've read. It's called Rescue.
Rescue something. Where she basically has an Iron Man suit as well. And
pretty fucking cool.
Fucks around with it. Especially now that in the comics Tony isn't Iron Man anymore.
Yeah.
He hasn't been for a while, has he?
Yeah.
It's been that woman.
Something.
Yeah.
Ironheart.
Yeah, it was really nice. They were going to call it Iron Maiden, but the Iron Maiden band wouldn't sign off on it, so they had to call it Iron Heart.
I like Ironheart. That's not bad.
Ironheart's nice.
Yeah,
Iron Maiden's badass though.
Yeah, Iron Maiden would have been fucking cool.
Iron Lady. Ooh.
No,
Iron Chest.
Thatcher.
Yeah, a bit of Thatcher vibes.
But yeah. Oh shit, there was something I was going to say. Comic books related to it. I can't remember. Oh, the only thing I wish that they hadn't killed Tony off for was so they could do Superior Iron Man. Oh, Tony sort of they wouldn't be able to do it because the way they set it up is Tony takes over Shield after Civil War,
Right.
and he starts going power hungry and nuts, and his alcoholism gets to him. So then he creates the Superior Iron Man suit, where he just turns to a fully fledged bad guy, and he's trying to take over the world as Iron Man.
That
And he's got this
sounds
like
sick.
white and black suit with like blue trim.
That is the sort of thing
Fucking
that
amazing.
we're not going to get on the film, but we
get on
might
Disney
get
Plus.
on Disney Plus, because Disney Plus, they've already said that they're doing in animation a What If series. And what they've announced is that the actors are going to voice their characters still. So you'll have possibly Downey Jr. still voicing Iron Man in a What If scenario. It will just be animation.
A 3D cell shaded Superior Iron Man.
Oh,
Batman Ninja style.
No.
oh yeah.
I think that would look amazing.
Oh no!
Are you fucking joking? Have you played Guilty Gear? Have you played Dragon Ball FighterZ?
Have you watched Batman Ninja?
Have you watched
Oh, Batman Ninja sucks, and we've been through this.
Iron Man Ninja
Oh my god, that would be sick.
at Marvel. I'll take my $100.
You're cheap, mate.
I think that's what it used to be. You used to write in like ideas, and they give you $100 to use it. I think that's what they did for Venom,
Oh,
That's
or at least
cool.
the symbiote suit.
that's cool.
And the guy was like, "Oh, fucking $100 for this.
Yeah,
Fucking, you made all the money."
yeah. That's why it's not a good idea.
True.
But all right, so what were your favorite moments in the movie?
That subtle nod. I like the Hail Hydra bit
Same
because that was
cute.
pretty cool. Because I remember that got really big controversy in the
Yeah.
world.
in the comics, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's fucking for Hydra all along. What
Yeah.
a fucking prick.
But it almost kind of showed a growth in Captain America as well, because I mean, original Captain America wouldn't have said something like that. He was stand by his things too much, and he's like, for the greater good, I can put my kind of feelings to one side because it needs to be done.
I just loved it. I thought it was like so cheeky.
Yeah, it was
Right.
great. Speaking of cheeky, America's ass. That was great.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
that was funny.
That was
really made me laugh.
really kind of a nice kind of little banter back and forth. And then when he kind of like fighting himself and it's like, damn. Yeah.
That is America's
That
ass.
is America's ass. That was I liked that this movie felt, for all the weight that was behind it, it felt light.
Yeah. Like smart Thor and stuff.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't know.
My actual favorite part was, I said earlier, Mjolnir and
Yeah.
Captain America and the Shield
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Dude, when he threw the shield behind,
I
I threw
just
Mjolnir.
I think
That's
literally
exactly-
Shockwaves.
I think that's literally what mine is.
Because it's just everything that they learned in the first Avengers film
They did
was
that.
just in this one as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they have, it was like Thor powering up
Yeah.
Iron Man
and
to shoot this
yeah.
fucking thing. You're like, yeah, cool. They learned that from previous
Yeah.
Avengers movie.
And
it
like
was
when Thor smacks his hammer on Cap's shield, it makes
Yeah.
that fucking shockwave. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna do that myself.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking so sick.
yeah,
man.
it felt like it felt like a culmination of everything
Yeah.
and everything they learned. And the craziest part of the entire movie is it made Thor: The Dark World relevant.
Yeah.
Really,
Let's
really
be honest,
fucking relevant.
Thor: The Dark
Yeah.
World, best Marvel movie ever made at this point now.
Easily.
Most
in
important,
retrospects.
most
Easily.
important Marvel movie ever made.
Easily.
I mean, I never hated that movie. I
Christopher
found it a
Eccleston,
fun little romp, but
really
it wasn't.
no, it's shit.
It was heartless, but it was just a bit of fun.
Bad movie.
And the music
thought
in
it
it's
was great.
fucking fantastic, but
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's so good.
that
That
theme.
Endgame is sick.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da,
Dun,
da.
Dun,
Touch my wiener.
dun, dun.
What?
Sure. For you.
Good thing we're audio only.
It was so good,
Goddamn.
man. It was so good.
Yeah. There was the scene where I liked how they went back to the different movies and the time travel
Yeah.
thing. Like when they came back to the original Avengers movie, and you got that kind of, you got the spin of them in the
Yes.
original movie,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
absolutely like, kind of, this is where we've come from, this is where we are now. That was a lovely kind of
It was cool.
Mhm.
thing.
I loved all the tiny things that I didn't expect. Like Tilda Swinton being in it.
Yeah,
Yes.
And like,
those kind of
showing
little-
Bruce all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. I didn't like because obviously they were there
Mm.
in retrospect when you watch Doctor Strange.
but
They
and,
must have been there.
and she knows about Doctor Strange, but
Yeah,
doesn't
you-
know.
you're 5 years too early.
doesn't know why. Like she knows enough about him, but not kind of everything.
Yeah.
Which is a great little thing. So
But I guess she knows everything up until she dies.
pretty much,
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a really
Yeah.
good point. I didn't think
The
of that.
only thing I thought was a bit of an arse pull was when, after they failed to get the Tesseract the first time, Tony just somehow knows that, oh yeah, my dad and Hank Pym were in the same place on this day at this time.
I mean, both him and
Cap.
Cap
Yeah,
know
they
that.
both know, but there's no like, why do they know? They don't tell us why.
I mean, I don't think that you need to be told why. You can pretty much. It's his dad. He's been looking into all the research about this kind of stuff. He would know.
It's before
I
he
think
was
that's-
alive.
And
Ooh.
I mean, there's history books, there's
Ooh.
documents. He's got
He's a
all of
bit
his
of a-
dad's work.
Oh.
Also, Captain
Nah,
Marvel's
confirmed. Endgame shit now.
Endgame
Big
shit.
old plot hole.
Detective-
Fuck that.
Detective
Oh.
Pikachu, best movie of the year.
But-
I loved that movie so much.
Oh, I
That was
know
my
you
Endgame.
did. I
Oh,
know.
God.
It was good, man.
But
A bit disappointed with one thing though.
ooh,
Can't believe Ant-Man didn't go inside Thanos' bum and expand.
boom.
Like that's bullshit.
You should have done at least someone's.
no, that would those. I mean, I would love if they did like a Marvel short "What If," and that is how they do.
Funded by Disney.
Funded by Disney, and it's just
18
like,
plus.
all right, fuck it. It's a 5-minute short, and it's just fuck it. He comes, Ant-Man pops up, goes big, and is like, that was easy.
We could have at least found out Thanos' anatomy. Does he have a butthole or not? We don't know.
We'll find out.
It's not. He's
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
No.
I like it. So there was. I need to watch this movie again and again and again.
Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Evolution.
Endgame, because like during that fight scene, so much happened and it went by so fast
Yeah.
that there's lots of details. Like after going out and speaking to friends about it, they completely missed something that I kind of caught, which was one of my favorite little bits. You had like one of those Leviathan dragons kind of flying in, and you had Ant-Man go Giant Man and just punch one out the sky,
goes,
Yeah.
Boom.
and then you didn't really
sick.
see him again.
Yeah.
But
So
that
good.
that was fucking epic, and they completely missed it because they were looking at something else that was happening somewhere else that I'd missed. So
do you know?
there was so much
So
going on
sick.
there.
Do you know who got shortchanged in that fight?
Who?
Black Panther.
Yeah, he
Didn't
did
do
it.
much.
He did enough. He grabbed the thing from Pete and bounced around a bit.
I mean, listen, Black Panther's meant to be arguably the most badass there. And he was kind of like.
I don't
then,
think-
Then he fell over.
Yeah, I don't think because there's going to be more from those characters.
Yeah.
And this
think
movie
that's
was
why.
about the ones that
Yeah.
aren't going to be more.
Yeah, I
off.
think I agree, but
But I mean, how this has kind of left the MCU at the end of this is the fucking Thor's with the Guardians of the
Asgard.
Galaxy,
Yeah.
the
The
Asgardians of the
Asgard.
Galaxy. Yes, 1,000 times yes. I want that so bad
when
with James Gunn.
is my guy M'Baku gonna get justice and become leader of the Avengers?
You're right, mate.
Give Man Ape his justice and make him leader of the Avengers, Disney, you cowards.
Oh my god. He's getting riled up. Is that a knife?
Sully that.
So
put away the
M'Baku.
Shit. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints on that movie. I was
Morton
going in
Barker.
with
Morton Barker.
I was going in with such hype, such everything built up around it, and I just couldn't stop myself from consuming as much as there was there.
Yeah.
And I still felt it kind of raised the bar, it kind of went my expectations.
Yes.
Before I went to see that film, my brother was like, George, you have to go see it. You have to go see it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I really, really want it. I really want it. It's like, it's not just the climax of this film doesn't just feel like the climax of this film. It feels like the
Yes.
climax of the whole
Yeah.
MCU. And I was like, oh, I really, really need to see it. I really want to see it.
Yeah. And
So
that's
fucking
pretty much
good.
spot on with that. It is
Absolutely.
it's the climax of everything that's come so far.
Mhm.
Which yeah.
Even like when like Tony having that conversation with his dad.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't think he'd ever do anything like that. He's very selfless and stuff. I think he committed the whole saved everybody like Iron Man. I was like, that's so fucking.
No,
Yeah.
and what I loved is kind of like you could see he just wanted to talk to his dad and tell him everything because
Yeah.
it's his dad. And like when he was they were speaking, and he just kind of couldn't contain. He's like, "I've got a kid." Fuck. It was.
Yeah.
You could see the desperation that he wanted to come out with.
Yeah, it was
And it
My
was-
dad.
You're my
This
dad,
is
and
your
I never
daughter,
got this.
Son, granddaughter.
granddaughter.
And like, he never got this with his dad because
Yeah.
when he was young, his dad wasn't a big part of his life. He
And
wasn't really interested
Then
in
he
it
was
because
brutally murdered by his best mate's best mate.
Love that. Love it.
love it.
Sick.
It's a good little twist, classic one.
Bucky the vampire slayer.
God damn it. There was so many little moments.
Dude.
All right, but we haven't even touched on Black Widow dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't
Don't
make
care?
me cry. Oh my God.
No, it's fine.
It was
It
I-
was sad.
it was annoying. I was like, I mean, look, Hawkeye, really?
Ronin.
Hawkeye.
So
Alright.
cool.
Yeah, he's alright.
I loved it.
There's only one Ronin, and he's already lost to the Guardians.
Yeah,
So
the collector's mate.
yeah, I don't want two Ronins. That's too many. That's confusing.
What?
One Ronin.
No, that Ronin was. I liked it.
And you got Hawkeye.
And I mean,
Hawkeye going, Nande.
well, the kids.
Shadow clone jutsu.
But yeah, like his kid's gonna be Hawkeye. So
Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
that would be cool.
I did like that because that's the only time they've ever said Hawkeye.
Yeah, they've just called him Clint.
We need more awesome, powerful female superheroes. I mean, we have some,
Female Thor.
but we need cooler one, even more.
I need what's her name? Ms. Marvel?
Yeah,
Ms. Marvel.
I'm
fucking
fully Ms.
Kamala
Marvel
Khan.
in now.
her.
Hey,
man.
Disney, I still want to be in that movie.
Just
Hit
an
me up.
extra at the back.
Extra in the back. I'll play her brother. I'll learn an American accent.
Easy.
What if you're a foreign exchange student? That's a friend.
Oh,
Sure.
Then you could just be your accent.
True. Or I could just have one line like, "Hi, welcome to the mosque." They
lit.
go to the mosque a lot in that comic.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's nice.
Cute.
I like that.
Hmm. No, I'm all for that. And I mean, now that they own kind of the X-Men stuff, they can have mutants in it. They can kind of build. I mean, that's going to be the next phase, isn't it?
Finally,
it's going to.
Scarlet Witch won't be shit.
Scarlet Witch is fine now.
I do want Silver Surfer.
She's fine now. She will be lit.
I don't know, because they've already kind of explained away that she's a creation of the
Have they?
the Soul Stone. Yeah,
Okay.
her and her brother. That's how they got their powers.
Really?
Yeah.
When
You,
was
you,
that?
you have to
Not
watch Age of
Magneto.
Ultron. Age of Ultron.
Oh, I don't want to watch Age of Ultron again. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Not Magneto getting hot and heavy with
Oh,
someone.
I was hoping.
Someone, yeah,
I was
someone.
hoping it'd be the. But then you can't do her best story.
I don't. What House of
Her be-
M?
I think so. Yeah, when she says no more mutants.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
would
the-
love a House of M kind
That's
of
the
thing. That'd
best.
be cool. I mean, it's
Oh,
a long story
Scarlet
in the
Witch
comics.
gets rid of all the mutants, apart from like she wipes out 90% of the mutant population.
Why?
Because Magneto pissed her off.
Lit.
It's-
That's
and-
all I need.
Yeah, and then it was kind of. Then it was dubbed as like the House of M, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
House
And
of
then
M,
House
and-
of Magneto.
And then they end up doing it, and the way they resolve it is Avengers versus X-Men.
yeah.
Oh shit.
And fucking.
Which could.
oh shit.
Well, that's the sort of stuff
oh
that.
shit!
Like they did Civil
a
War.
phoenix.
Like they did Civil War in a very different way than
Yeah.
it is in the comics. They could do Avengers vs X-Men or something along those kind of
Yeah.
lines, a very different way than they've done in
Yeah.
the comics. Like I would love Secret Wars. Like bring the fucking Skrull invasion.
Yeah.
Have a big thing.
Skrull.
Because that'd be badass.
Okay, I've got another qualm with this movie. Where were the Skrulls?
They didn't need to be. In
Why
there.
were there no more Skrulls in this movie?
Oh, I thought they were.
There wasn't. Why would you need a
Wait.
Skrull?
Because they're Skrulls.
Are you a big Skrull boy?
Why weren't there Skrulls?
Oh shit.
Just give
The
me
knife's
Skrulls.
back.
The nice back. Well,
Make your Baku King of Skrulls.
it's bigger this time.
Well, how? He's getting very excited. Overall,
Yeah.
wicked film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Overpowered.
Best MCU film?
Easily.
Yeah.
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 Maybe not standalone because I think you kind of need
Yeah, you.
all the others.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need. I think this is a movie that if you've seen them all, you will love.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen them all, there will be sections you'll like.
Saying that, because I watched it with my girlfriend, and there were moments because she hasn't seen any Marvel films.
Really?
Wow.
I needed to go with someone,
Yeah.
and I really
Please.
wanted her to come, and so we were watching it, and I was like 15 minutes before the film, I was like, okay, so there's been so many films, and you've got Captain America and Tony Stark and Thor and all these people, and here are their kind of character arcs and how they've interacted with other characters and stuff. And whenever a character came on that I hadn't explained, I was like, that's Scarlet Witch. Or he's like, oh, who's that? I was like, oh, she was in Age of Ultron. She did some really cool shit. And she was. Oh, okay, sick. That's M'Baku. That's probably a bit too quiet, isn't it?
That's M'Baku.
That's M'Baku.
Rightful King of Wakanda.
Who's that? Who's that character? Oh, that's Rhodey. He's mates. Oh, he's all right.
He used to be a different guy, but now he's
this
this guy.
He got recast a while ago.
He somehow like became like more black.
Yeah, like skin condition,
shorter.
Why is he limping? That's a big thing.
Oh, he got shot at the sky by someone.
By his mate.
By Vision. I have to tell you about Vision.
Who's the Vision? Oh, he's not in this film. He's fine.
He's dead now. Fuck it.
Yeah, in it. But yeah, and she said that she really enjoyed it.
That's great.
Without seeing all the other films.
Well, they've done a great job then.
Yeah. It was fun, man. America's ass. I love Chris Evans so much.
So do I.
I'm such a big fan.
Yeah.
Chris, if you're listening, can you come on the podcast, please?
Well, George, we got a surprise for you. I'd like to welcome special guest Chris.
Oh my god!
He's even brought his shield.
Oh my god! That is America's ass.
All right. Well, if we've got no more to say, I guess we can
I
wrap
think
up.
with that, we're going to wrap up our Game of Avengers cast.
End of game.
End of Thrones.
That's the one.
End of Thrones.
This is the End of Thrones. Remember, you can check us out on Radio Haver at 8 p.m. GMT every Tuesday. You can also find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Acast. I didn't miss anything else out there. No, that's everything. And Stitcher Radio as well.
Who uses
I was so close. R&D team uses Stitcher to listen to us and check.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to the End of Thrones cast, and we're now going to go install M'Baku as the rightful king of Westeros.
Damn.
He's have to get the guy out of the iron wheelchair. Is it now?
Oh,
it can't be an iron throne. It has to be the iron wheelchair.
The Iron Throne got burnt down.
Melted.
Burn it down.
Do you remember that? Do you remember when Drogon thought, "Oh, the giant chair of pointy things"? No, there's a pointy thing in Daenerys.
Pointy thing. Ah.
Oh, let's get rid of the pointy chair. That is a tweet I read, so I'm totally plagiarizing that. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
George.
That's because Drogon probably knew that it was the
throne's
throne
fault.
Symbolized.
Yeah.
This is why my mum's dead.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna nick and go eat her.
Yeah. She tasty.
Tastes like fire.
Oh god.